My name's Eddie Barber. I'm with Barber Tech Video Products. We make multiple Emmy Award-winning products for the entertainment industry. We make better for less than our top competitors in at least 4 major categories. For example, we make the latest version of the Emmy Award-winning Barber booms, which are the only remote control camera boom cranes or jibs that have won an Emmy Award. We make the Emmy Award-winning Easy Prompters, which are the only teleprompter systems currently that have won an Emmy Award. We make the Steady Pod, which is hands down the world's most versatile handheld camera stabilizer / support ever. We make the ultimate location lighting kits, and the name says it all. Well, I've been in the industry a little over 40 years. I started hanging out at a television station in North Carolina when I was 13. Finally got a job processing film. Worked my way up. Worked as a studio cameraman, a switcher, director, a news cameraman, a news reporter. Then I invented the remote control camera boom, which brought me out to California, and I started shooting a lot of projects, movies, commercials, music videos, and then I got into directing music videos and commercials, and I directed videos for Michael Jackson, Madonna, the Beach Boys, Warrant, Tiffany, The Movement, a lot of people. I shot more than 400 music videos and lots of commercials and movies and TV shows and all that good stuff, and did that mostly, the director thing, mostly through the 90s, and this century I've mostly been working on developing products. You know, I don't really consider myself so successful, because if I was so successful, I would have some of the hundreds of millions of dollars that I've made for other people. I've never been very good at protecting things, and one of my problems is I come up with something and then everyone copies it, and they seem to be much better at finding sales and marketing people that can sell more than they cost. There's a lot of advice. One of the things is that work for whatever. A lot of people want to get in the industry and they get stuck on, you got to pay me so much or I'm not going to work. And when I first came to LA from North Carolina, actually when I first started hanging around the TV station in North Carolina, they didn't pay me anything, and I did anything I could. I'd take out the trash, I'd wash people's cars, I'd go, rake their leaves, mow their lawn, run errands for them, anything just to be able to hang out there. And then when I came to LA, I didn't know anyone, and it was, I've heard it's really hard to get in the industry. I would just go around and work for whatever, pay me anything or nothing, and people started paying me more and more and more, and then it turned into a pretty decent day rate. I went from doing shoots for L0 to getting $1,000, $1,500 a day as an operator, and as much as 50 grand to shoot a video. So yeah, don't worry about a rate. Just work and get experience, work for whatever you can. Another bit of advice would be, a lot of people have limited budgets, and they'll spend all their money on a stupid camera. Like, they'll get a camera that's big and heavy and expensive, and instead of getting like a small camera and putting it on a Steady Pod, because if you get a small, less expensive camera, then you have a lot more money left over for things like Steady Pods or Easy Prompters or camera lights and things like that. So yeah, that would be some advice. Another bit of advice is, if you're pursuing being a director, it's very, very hard to get directing gigs. Do videos for people for free or whatever they can come up with. If you ever get in the loop, don't get out, stay there. I made a mistake in the late 90s. After directing a lot of videos, I took a year off and produced a TV show. And when the TV show crashed and burned, I tried to go back to doing music videos and commercials, and I learned in the industry there's this thing called the loop. And once you're out of the loop for a year, it's forget about it. You can't get work. It doesn't seem to matter that you've directed a music video for Michael Jackson and one for Madonna and the Beach Boys and all these people. They care about, what have you done lately? What do you have on MTV now? So as hard as it is to get in the loop, if you ever get in the loop, don't get out unless you plan on staying out, because it's real hard to get back in. You always want to remain humble, okay? You always want to try to treat others the way you would like to be treated to the best of your ability, mostly because it's the right thing to do, but also because you just don't know where people are going to go. For example, I worked with an intern roughly 25 or so years ago at a TV station in North Carolina. He was actually like my first assistant. He, followed me around, carried my deck. Back then, it was like the big heavy 30-pound camera and a deck. He'd carry my deck. He would assist me. He would help me go, get me water. He was a really, really nice guy. And he ended up growing up and becoming the national correspondent for CBS News 60 Minutes. And he recently wrote a book, I think like last year. And I heard about this book, and it was Christmas. And I had a flu or cold, and I was very sick, and I had not done Christmas shopping like I should. And I ended up Christmas Eve going out, looking for, I was going to at least get cards for people. And I ended up next to a bookstore, and I had remembered that my friend that I'd heard he had written a book. So I went in there, trying to see if I could find it, and I couldn't, but a nice gentleman there found it for me. And I went to look at it, and I couldn't, it was all, like fuzzy because I'm getting old and I didn't have my glasses with me. So they told me there were reading glasses at the front counter. So I went to the front counter with this book, and they had glasses, and they were all in packages except for one pair that happened to be pink. So I put on these pink reading glasses, and I opened the book to the middle of the book, page 147. The book is Byron Pitts, who's a CBS 60 Minutes news correspondent. The book is called Step Out on Nothing. I opened it to the page 147. I just opened the middle, and I looked, and the first thing I saw was my name. And I started reading, and I saw my name again and again and again and again, and my eyes started swelling up, and water started coming out of them. And next thing I know, I'm standing there at the checkout counter wearing these pink reading glasses, basically crying like a baby, haven't talked to the guy in like forever, and here he's written this book, and he's got my name in it all over the place. And I just got all emotional, and I closed the book, and I put the glasses back on the thing, and I look at the line, and everybody motions me to go ahead. And I went to the checkout counter and bought the book, and went out to my car and went home, and I read the book cover to cover in, I think it was 4 days. And I have dyslexia. I have a problem with reading and comprehension, so I don't read books. This is, I think, only the second book I'd read in my life cover to cover. Yeah. And I got in touch with him, and now we're really good friends, and we talk on the phone every now and then, and you just never know. So even if some of the people don't go anywhere, it doesn't matter. Just be nice to people, treat people the way you would like to be treated, because it's the right thing to do, and you just don't know where they're going to end up. And you can check out all of our products at www.barbertech.com.